Hello students. Now our next topic is adaptive radiation. So what is adaptive radiation? Let us see what is adaptive radiation. It is the formation of a new number of divergent species, means many number of divergent species from a common ancestor, means there must be some common ancestor, and from that common ancestor many different varieties or different forms are being evolved with new species adapting to different ecological niche, means they are not living in that particular area, they are moving to different area. And this concept came when you must have heard about Galapagos Island. These islands were visited by a very famous naturalist, Charles Darwin. So while he was visiting those islands, he found that there was a group of birds, right? Small sized birds. You must have talked about this in NCERT. These are Darwin finches. So what he found that they were having different beak patterns. So through intensive studies, he observed that they might have some common ancestor. There would have been some common ancestor of these finches, from that common ancestor, they divided or they evolved separately in different areas, different geographical areas, where depending on their beak ability, they feeded different, you can say their different feeding habit was changed. Like some are feeding on insects, some are feeding on fruits, someone feeding on fishes, someone feeding on cactus. Just take an example. There was some original population. In that area, Galapagos Island, there was some population of birds living, and that was a common ancestor. From that common ancestor, let a group of birds migrated to one end of the island. They moved to the other end of the island where there was extensive growth of cactus. So they tried to feed on the cactus. So let us assume that there were 20 birds. Only 2 and 3 birds were able to use their beak to pierce the thick covering of the cactus and were able to eat their food. But the rest were not able to do that. So what happened? Only those who were able to feed the cactus were able to survive in that area, because only the food suited to them was available. Other bird cannot. So now they will start reproduction and their number will increase by, because there is ample of food and no competition is there, because only 2-3 birds are there. And now afterwards their number will increase. Now this beak pattern that helped them in feeding the cactus would be selected, and the entire population will become the same kind. So a new species evolved from that original population. Just imagine that some of the birds went to the area where a lot of insects were there, right? So the only birds, only that finches that were able to feed on those insects, the beak that was adapted accordingly so that they can feed on the insect, were able to survive, were able to reproduce over there, can increase their population. So they will settle over there and a new variety of insect eating finches develop. So there must be some common ancestor. Oversee, if you can see that here, there is some common ancestor. This is seed eating groundfinch, means common ancestor was seed eater. And from this, different types of finches develop. Like cactus, I gave you cactus were their larva eating finches, right? Some were woodpecker, they were feeding. Some were feeding on fruits, right? And some were still feeding on seeds. So how can we define adaptive radiation now? Formation of many different species from some common parental species. Here, this is the parental species, and these are the new species that have radiated from this, okay, to other areas, geography or habitat. Means it's not that particular area, they will move towards different area, they move towards different geographical area, is called as adaptive radiation. This is known as adaptive radiation, right? And we can say that this adaptive radiation, if you say that ancestor is common and from that different branches are going. So we have already talked about this kind of evolution. This is known as divergent evolution. So adaptive radiation is also an example of divergent evolution. Let us take another example. This is also given in your NCERT. You can see the picture is given in your NCERT, which suggests that there must be some common ancestor, marsupial ancestor, and from that different branches of marsupials have evolved in a particular area called Australia. And Australia is an island country, it's a very large island. So they migrated to different part of that island and settled over there and they transform into different species. So it is also an example of adaptive radiation. But sometimes what happens? Sometimes when more than one adaptive radiation, just see this example. This is a list of placental mammal. So they are also taking this evolution is taking place in which part of the world? It is taking place in Australia itself, and these were the Australian marsupials, right? So in the same area, some were developing into placental mammals. At the same time, same kind were developed, but from the marsupial ancestor. They were marsupials and they were placental mammals. Like burrower, their habitat was burrower, two different forms. Anteater, two different forms. It means what? That this placental mammal is showing divergent evolution. They must have some common placental mammal ancestor from which these varieties have evolved, and these Australian marsupial must have some common marsupial ancestor from which these varieties have evolved. It means there were two different adaptive radiations but taking place in the same place, same area. So this is known as convergent evolution. If you talk about a single adaptive radiation, then it is divergent evolution. When two or more adaptive radiation taking place in a particular area, then we call it as convergent evolution. So sometime more than one adaptive radiation occurred in an isolated geographical area representing different habitat, then they support convergent evolution. It means if two adaptive radiation taking place in a particular area, then they support which kind of evolution? Convergent evolution. Next heading is biological evolution. So evolution by natural selection. When life started on Earth and the organism, first ever organism would have started perform metabolic activity, then only the natural selection would have started. So evolution by natural selection would have started when cellular forms of life with differences in metabolic capability originated on Earth. Once we got life on Earth and they start performing metabolic activity, then only natural selection would have started. Now just take an example. The rate of appearance of new forms means how new variety or new forms or new species would be evolving is linked to the life cycle. Is linked to the life cycle or the lifespan of that organism, that how quickly it reproduce or how quickly it grow and sexually mature, or you can say reproductively mature, so that it can give birth to new offsprings, right? We take an example of microbes. We know that microbes are asexual reproducing organisms. So microbes that divide fast have the ability to multiply and become millions of individuals within hours. Bacteria can increase its number into 100,000 and then millions in few hours, right? In a day they can become trillions in number. So the chances of variation, they are multiplying even just take an example in 20 minutes, then in an hour they will have 3 generations. So the chances of variation would be more in those because their lifespan is very small. And if the better variation is there, then it would be selecting. If it would be selecting, then appearance of new species would be very fast because their lifespan is very short. But if the same kind of natural selection or variation we talk about in complex animals like fish or birds, then we cannot see it in a few days or a few months. It will take millions of years. Why? Because the lifespan is greater, and we can say that the rate of reproduction is not that fast as comparison to the microbes. So the chances of variation would be there, but less as compared to the microbes, right? Now come Darwin's theory. Darwin's theory was based on the two important concepts. One was branching descent. Branching descent means that there must be some common ancestor, and from that common ancestor different species have originated, just like that we talked about Darwin finches. And second is natural selection. That is, it is the nature who select the best suited individual, and that individual pass those characters to the next generation. These are the two key concepts of the Darwinian theory of evolution. Just 2 points to remember: that Darwin's work was influenced by the work of Malthus. Malthus wrote an essay on population. So he was very much influenced by the work of Malthus. So while forming his theory, he was very much influenced. So he added some of the points that was given by Malthus also. So what were the main features of Darwin's theory? First is overproduction. He suggested that every organism have tendency to reproduce more. It has tendency to reproduce at a very fast rate, or you can say it has tendency to produce more offspring. So the chances of survival would be more. So why they are producing large number of individuals? So that if some die during fighting, or some die by the killed by the predator, or due to competition, the chance of survival would be more, means at least 2 or 3 would be surviving. Second, struggle of existence. If large number of individuals would be born, then there would be 2 kind of struggle. They would be they would be fighting among themselves as well as with the other species, right? Just take an example. If in a jungle there are 2 families, one is of lion, other is of leopard. Leopard produced 10 cubs, and we'll talk about lion, then 5 cubs are there. So there were 50 new members in that particular area, so there would be 2 kind of competition. One would be between the 2 different species, and one would be the members of the same species. For what? They will fight for food, shelter, etc. So they will struggle for existence, and the one which is stronger, the one which is able to occupy the proper space, will get food, will be able to survive. Next, variation and heredity. What he said in the third point, he said that variation are continuous, that it takes place in every generation. Okay, and those variation which help in survival, those variation which help that individual in surviving in the nature, in that condition, are passed on to next generation. They are passed to next generation. And according to him, adaptive ability is inherited, means the ability to adapt themselves according to the changing environment is inherited, that is related to genetic, and it is genetic. Fitness is the result of ability to adapt, means if someone is fitness is not about bodybuilding and all that. Fitness is about survival, okay, or reproductive fitness, how many individuals they can leave behind, right? Ability to adapt and get selected by nature. Now, and the last, survival of the fittest. The one which is fittest to survive in its environment is selected. Means after struggle, after variation, after character being passed, those character or those situations, those conditions, those organisms which make them to survive in the changing environment are selected, and their number would be increased, right? But there was scientist Hugo de Veres. He worked on evening primrose, and he put forward the idea of mutation. He believed that, he believed that it is a mutation. It is the mutation. Mutation, we have talked about certain heritable changes which causes evolution. He was not believing Darwin. Darwin says that there are small variations which are accumulated and the new species created. What he said, no, it's not that. It is the mutation which cause evolution, not the minor variations, not small variation that Darwin was talking about. Darwin said in his theory of natural selection. Hugo de Veres believed that mutation caused speciation. Sometimes what happened, a single large mutation lead to the formation of a new species. So he called such kind of evolution as saltation, such kind of process as saltation. So Hugo de Veres was a believer that mutation is the cause of evolution. Whatever the species, suddenly a new species has evolved just because of the mutation. Some mutation might have taken place in its DNA that made him, or that made it to survive better in the environment, right? Now, after finishing the topic, let us see some practice questions. Question number 1, bring out differences between de Veres mutations and Darwinian variations. Question number 2, how do Darwin's finches illustrate adaptive radiation? Question number 3, refer to the figure given below and answer the questions that follow. A part of the question is explain the process by which Tasmanian wolf evolved. B part is name the process that has resulted in evolution of wolf and the Tasmanian wolf. And the C part is compare and contrast the 2 animals shown. Next question, define the term saltation. Question number 5, what are the facts that support Darwin's theory of natural selection? And question number 6, marsupials and Australian placental mammals exhibit convergent evolution. Explain how. So practice these questions. Try to write their answer in your own words. All the best.